Showtime! The Capital G Show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So guys, today I want to talk about number 11 Big Eye and why I believe that this card needs to go away and never ever come back. Now, Big Eye is actually a very unique situation. It's very similar to Rescue Cat in the sense that, you know, the card was always broken, but upon its release, we didn't necessarily have the supporting cast to showcase the fact that it was broken. Essentially, all we had to do was wait long enough until we had a deck that could run multiple high reward, low risk level 7 monsters, and then boom, everybody would see how unbalanced the card is, and what do you know, we now have 3 of those decks. I mean, we have Prophecy, Mermail, and Elemental Dragons, and I mean, I don't think that it's that far of a stretch to say Big Eye's probably the most broken Xyz ever created in the game. I mean, it's generally not a good idea to give Xyz monsters band level power. Oh wait, you know, Konami also did that with Volcasaurus, but that's a whole different topic for another video. You look at Big Eye, and I'll be the first to say, because I preached this on my channel, it's basically, if you're going to invest a lot into summoning a monster, that monster needs to be able to pay you back a fair amount in return, whether that be advantage through protection, lockdown, pluses. Those pluses can be draw, destruction, searching, whatever. The main reason so many high rank tribute and level monsters never see play is because they don't do this. The problem with Big Eye is Big Eye takes it way too far. It's not the fact that Big Eye is a +1, it's the type of +1 that it is. You know, Big Eye is the type of +1 that creates OTKs. It's the type of +1 to where, you know, rather than something like, you know, blowing up a card where your opponent can probably take that and recover, it's the type of +1 where you take their best monster and then they're just, you know, you have such an edge in the duel that they can't ever come back. Now, a lot of people probably won't agree with what I'm about to say. In fact, some people may call me an idiot and dislike the video, but Big Eye has essentially become Goyo Guardian Part 2, and what I mean by that is the penalty for leaving a monster on the field unprotected has once again skyrocketed absurdly through the fucking roof. I mean, it's always been pretty much an unwritten rule, don't leave monsters on the field unprotected, otherwise your opponent will probably deal with those monsters in the most effective way that they can. Okay, you've got a Stardust Dragon on board. It may offer protection from, you know, destruction effects, but I can still bounce it. I can still use Evac or Neo Grand Mode to get rid of it. Oh, you've got a Heraclinos on board with no protection, and he may offer lockdown against spells and traps, but he can still be destroyed. He can still be banished with things like, you know, BLS or something like that. So there's always been ways of dealing with monsters, but when Goyo Guardian was legal, the penalty was so severe because not only would you lose your monster, your opponent would take your monster and that shit would start working for them. And that's essentially what Big Eye has done. So it's just like those situations I named earlier. Not only is your opponent getting rid of one of your monsters, they're going to be gaining one at the same exact time. That's why this card is so absurd and why Big Eye needs to be banned. Hell, I'd even go so far as to say Big Eye's better than Goyo Guardian. Why, you ask? Okay, well, first off, it doesn't require a successful attack to steal a monster. That means it's not susceptible to things like Honest and Forbidden Lance and Dimensional Prison. There's absolutely no graveyard interaction requirement. That means you can still use its effect when things like Macrocosmos or Defissure are on the board. You also won't have to worry about triggering things like Abyss Lyn that you don't want to send to the graveyard. You can snatch steal monsters that are bigger than it. That was actually one of the downfalls of Goyo, so you don't have to worry about attacking over a BLS or an Infernity Doom Dragon. Like, Big Eye don't give a fuck. He's just going to snatch steal whatever he wants. The monster is also ready for immediate use. You don't have to worry about, you know, putting the monster in defense mode, hoping it lives, and then next time around during your battle phase, you can attack with, nope, Big Eye can just, he cuts through all the BS and he can just attack right now. Yep. Just take your opponent's monster and beat him down with it right now. He also gets rid of things like Spirit Reaper and stall monsters. Oh, your opponent has that Marshmallow line? Yep, Goyo Guardian's looking real salty. Big Eye doesn't care. He's just going to snatch steal it. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, it can't attack. Nobody cares that it can't attack. We all know that Gaia Dragon Thunder Charger is a card that Konami ain't have no rhyme or reason to ever create because it basically erases all the downfalls of all the fucking Xyz, the high rank ones that they ever made, and this is just another card that is benefited by that card because you get the same attack. In fact, you just get piercing damage, so once again, your situation gets even better. Goyo is still easier to summon, but Big Eye has so many more benefits that Goyo doesn't have, and Goyo's fucking banned. Like, Big Eye is Right now, I think it's one of the most detrimental cards to the game. Like, you just can't leave monsters on the board unprotected. Otherwise, your opponent's just going to snatch steal them and OTK you. And I think that Big Eye needs to go bye-bye. So let me know what you guys think about this. I hope Big Eye ends up getting banned on the September ban list. And I'll talk to you later. Subscribing makes life happy.